Hello, everyone. Yep. Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to another absolutely important session. Welcome on this, Friday evening. And I hope by now every one of you have had your dinners. Well, it's so awesome to see the participation, but I do see some have stopped, others are getting encouraged. I would just say one thing, from our experience throughout our, health transformation journey, and I've heard this from anyone and everyone who has actually succeeded in transforming themselves, is continue to participate, share your plates. It's okay. It's okay if you have missed a few days or missed a few meals. You can restart. And actually, each one of us, and this journey is never going to be a straight, you know, a a good run or a straight weight loss journey. You will have days where you may not be feeling good or you've gone out or something like that. But the main thing is to come back and report. The second thing that we are looking at, I mean, we've been seeing, and even Deepika, Farooq, and Anaita have been saying, please, please, please start your mornings with a nutritious and a balanced breakfast. That is extremely important because in this program, what we are talking about is morning nutrition. And when we talk about morning nutrition, it needs to have, your fruit, start with your fruit, have your protein. You need to have 50% of your protein requirement in the morning. We have had sessions where we covered the need for morning nutrition. We have covered what to eat, when to eat, and how to eat. We have also talked about body clock. Today's session, if you have missed any of the sessions, ask the person who has invited you or your health buddy to give you the recording of the previous sessions or even explain. But these are absolutely important. So, from today, we'll be actually talking about some of the key macronutrients, and today's topic is protein. Well, um, it's my pleasure and honor to actually, invite and introduce the main speaker of the day. Today, we will not be having, Farooq talk to us because he's traveling, in fact. But, the speaker of today, she has followed, she you will not believe the transformation that she has made through this program, but it is, with just following what and understanding, of course, what Farooq is saying or what the program is saying, why things, understanding and implementing it persistently. Why I say persistently is because, it's never, again, as I said, it's never a straight line, activity. But she has understood, and in the last 1 year, extreme, massive transformation. She's lost 35 kgs. She's taken care of her a huge acid reflux problem. I love to introduce her as a Punjabi kudi by heart, by birth, and with respect to food. But if she could transform, if she could change her habits, so can any of us. Uh, Let me, welcome Deepika to take over and, present to us the importance of protein and, even her experience. Deepika, over to you.
Thank you so much, Veda. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this absolutely phenomenal evening. We look forward to Mondays and Fridays. I don't know about you, but we certainly do, because each time we hear each other speak, whether it's Farooq, whether it's Raj, whether it's Veda, or even when I share a couple of things with you, there is something new that I learn. There is some revelation, there is some understanding, there is some correlation with what we have learned so far, with what we practice so far. So yes, we learn probably as much as you, maybe a shade more each time we talk to you. So yes, thank you. We will be talking about a macronutrient. We will be talking about protein today, ladies and gentlemen. Extremely essential to please kickstart your day with the right nutrition first thing in the morning. Thank you, Veda, for introducing me like a typical Punjabi kudi. I love good food. I love to cook. I used to love to eat out a lot. I still love to eat. And I have all my life lived with this guilt in my mind that food is my biggest enemy, because it is because of the food that I have always been on the other side of weighing scale. and I invited a problem like severe acid reflux, which I suffered for over 12 to 13 years, resorted to proton pump inhibitors at a very young age. And I thought this is how life is going to be, because this is a lifestyle disease. So it has become a part of my lifestyle. Thanks to Farooq, thanks to the community, thanks to this entire team that I'm a part of, that what I realized in my journey over the last 2 3 years. Yes, last 1 year was absolutely focused and I was working towards a goal. But in the last 2 3 years, during COVID and post COVID, our interactions with Farooq and other communities, one thing that I realized was that food is my biggest friend. Only if I understand it a little more, and I can still continue to enjoy the food and have the food that I want if I understand how it works for my body. So, for all of you who feel like me, KR, Abek, we are now on a health program and now we have to say bye to a lot of things that we like. It isn't so. Listen to your body talks to you, understand your body, understand what your requirements are, understand how you can bridge the gap between what you want to eat and what you should eat. And trust me, this can be an absolutely phenomenal journey. Not a day in the last 1 year have I regretted being a part of this. Rather, I'm extremely happy, very confident, very optimistic, very hopeful that this is how life is going to be. And that's what the word that we want to spread for all of you. Give a big shout out to Farooq, who comes with this vision of Har Ghar Healthy, Har Ghar Medicine Free. Let's kickstart today's evening, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, 1 second. All right. So we will be talking about we are talking about protein today, and I couldn't find a better image than this, because we all, I think we've heard, we've read it while we were in school, that protein is, these are the building blocks and it is the foundation of a good health. What if we have a wonky foundation? A wonky foundation will continue to give you issues and problems all throughout your life if you don't focus. At times we compromise on certain things, whether it is a good house that we are building, whether it's anything that we are doing in our life, and we have to pay the price for it lifelong. So like a good foundation is extremely important for a house that you live in. Trust me, you will change 100 houses, inshallah, God willing, for all the happy reasons in your life, but you have one permanent house that you're going to live in, and that's your body. And if your foundation in your body is wonky, you will continue to face problems and issues sooner or later. And Anaita has been repeatedly saying this, that please don't miss out on the essence of adding enough protein in your breakfast, adding enough complex carbs, adding enough fiber in your meal times, because today it may not have a problem. It is like, I'll give you a very, very simple example. When we were a part of this program early, when I was getting into a weight loss thing, today you may have one chapati less. It may not, probably if you just have two chapatis in dinner and you start having one chapati, it may not affect you today. But when you do that for the next 90 days or next 180 days, there will be certain changes you will see in your body. Similarly, today, if you deprive your body of essential nutrients during the essential meal times, because we don't really recommend too much of snacking. So if you're not making sure that your meals have adequate macro and micronutrients over a period of time, maybe 3 months from now, maybe 6 months from now, maybe post the age of 40 or a 45 or a 50, you will see certain things, certain changes in your body, which some of which, like I said on the group, will be repairable. Some of them may not be repairable. So it's extremely essential to please, please, please start focusing on the basic requirements of your macro and micro during your meal times. It will come in very, very handy, and it will pay you a bountiful, say, 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 1 year from now. So, yes, we cannot have a wonky foundation. We are going to be learning about protein, which is the building block of our bodies. Let's get into it. Okay. Now, we all know we are all made up of protein. If there is no protein, there is none of us, right? Oh, right from the first strand on your head, your hair, to your toenail, every single cell in your body is essentially made up of protein. Certain basic facts and figures, you don't need to, memorize all of these, but just wanted to share some facts with you that 8 out of 10, 80% of India is protein deficient. Now, 90% of India does not even know what is their daily requirement. If you ask any man on the street, there is a fair chance that they would not know that, given their age, given their body weight, what is their daily protein requirement. Again, some other facts, I'll not get too much into the nitty gritty, but just highlight on the basics. 73% of our diets are protein deficient. So as much as we say that I'm having one katori dal, yes, the books that we have referred to, the books that are doctors also, with absolute lots of regard to our doctors, but the publications that have been there for the last 40 years, the protein that we used to get in a katori of dal, say 40 years ago, is not the amount of protein that we are getting today from the same katori of dal, because of so many malpractices in agriculture, so many additives, so many fertilizers, so many practices that are happening, which are depleting and completely taking away the essential nutrients from the yield. 93% are unaware of their ideal protein requirement. 84% veg diets are deficient of protein. 65% non-veg diets are lacking in protein. 97 pregnant women don't know. Imagine a lady who's going to be giving birth to a new life. 97% of women don't know how essential it is for them to have protein and how much protein do they need to eat. So these are some other facts. Let's get go forward. There are certain myths about the food the protein sources that we have in our food products. People say protein is easily available in fruits and vegetables. No, it's a myth. It's not. Your fruits and vegetables are highly rich in micronutrients. They're highly rich in dietary fiber, but protein is lacking. 70% pregnant women, lactating mothers wrongly believe this. Leafy vegetables are a good source of protein. No, that's again a myth. 73% in urban India thinks it is true. Protein is bad for health. There cannot be a statement which is far from, which is absolutely wrong, which is absolutely false. 20% of those surveyed believe a protein-rich diet is unhealthy. A lot of people don't even understand that what protein do they need to have to gain weight, to gain muscles, and what protein is extremely beneficial in losing weight. So stick on to this community, understand what protein works best for you to lose weight and lose weight consistently. Okay, protein. It is the building block of your life. We all understand that. It is the first place, the primary source, which highlights its importance as a nutrient. Protein is made up of 20 essential amino acids. Some of this our body can manufacture, synthesize, some of it cannot. Protein is a vital nutrient, constitutes about 15 to 16% of our body mass. High prevalence of protein deficiency among 73% urban rich Indians. Can you imagine? I mean, if you move to a country like China, every food item, I think protein is one of the most integral part. And you look at their skin, you look at their texture, you look at their hair color, the clarity of their skin. I think it speaks volumes about the amount of protein intake they have. But 90% of Indians are unaware of their daily requirement. Now, like I said, there are essential amino acids and non-essential. This is the list of both of them. These are the building blocks. Now, what exactly do these do? Look at your body. What is important? What are the functions that you feel are absolutely essential? You need muscles. Why? Because they protect your skeletal structure also. And protein is extremely essential in building those muscles. It boosts your immune system. If your immune system is not rock solid, you can fall prey to any and every infection that's floating around you. Sustain a normal digestive system. If one day we have a wonky digestive system, something goes for a toss, you feel so fatigued, you feel so sapped out, you feel so drained of energy. It is extremely important to have a good sustain a normal digestive system. Transporting essential molecules around the body, whatever nutrients that your body absorbs, for it to reach every vital organ, every possible cell in your body, you need protein. Supports regulation and expression of DNA and RNA. It breaks down your food, digestion of your food. Growth and repair of tissue. We all know that, usually when people, they get up from some sickness, or, they've had some kind of an episode or an accident, everybody focuses on, have a lot of soup, have dal ka pani, have, things like makhanas and stuff, because all of this is extremely essential in repairing and healing your body, your muscles, your tissues. It makes hormones and your brain chemicals. It provides an energy source, undoubtedly. It maintains healthy skin, nails, and hair, which I think all of us want. So to understand what protein does, just look around, look at your own body, and you will know what are the essential things that you require to have a healthy body. And protein comes in handy in all of those areas. So the amount of protein, it depends on a couple of factors. Individual physiological features could be the sex, you're a man or a woman, what age bracket do you fall into, what's your physical activity routine, what's your health status as of today. And also it depends upon the protein quality, which is the amino acid composition, and the PDCA score, which is the protein digestibility corrected amino acid score. Now, what is a PDCA score? PDCA score is basically the percentage of protein that gets absorbed when you consume it. And any protein that you pick up from a counter or anywhere, please do check its PDCA score. Only if the PDCA score is 1. A PDCA score of 1 means that 100% of protein that you consume will get absorbed and digested by your body. And that is what your body needs to break down and get benefit out of the protein that you have consumed. Now, this is a classic representation of the protein requirement. It varies from person to person. If you have an average or a sedentary lifestyle, you're a housewife, you do basic running around in the house, probably going to the market, not any heavy activity. For that matter, if you're a man and you go to work and come back and not really a physical activity, 0.8 grams per kg body weight is what you require. So if your weight is 60 kgs, multiplied by 0.8, and you would get the amount of protein you require on a daily basis. If you are in a recreational kind of a role, you get into some kind of an athletic activity, you need 1.1 to 1.4 gram per kg body weight. If you are into heavy endurance as an athlete, you need 1.2 to 1.4 grams of body weight per kg body weight. And if you are into strength and powerlifting and all that, then you need 1.2 to 1.6. Do your research, ask the right question to the right person who's probably who's probably health wise in life where you want to be, and who knows it all, who studied the subject in detail to understand that how much of that one katori dal, how much protein is it giving you. Look for sources, look for healthy plant based sources to give you protein. There are multiple options that you can choose from. So, why is protein essential? 50% of your protein should be completed in your breakfast. It's extremely important. We've learned earlier also that, when you we are sleeping at night, when we get up in the morning, we are already in a negative nutrient balance, which also includes protein, because our body has been doing the repairing and the healing process at night. And we are protein deficient when we get up in the morning. And when we get up, we are going to be starting our day. So there's going to be a lot of activity. So if our protein tank is not at least 50% full, we will be eating. Firstly, there are no protein reserves in the body. Whatever you consume and whatever the body needs in a day, it gets absorbed. The rest of it gets eliminated out of your body. So if you're already working on a half tank or a less than half tank, it is certainly going to make you feel fatigued, sapped out, or tired. It certainly boosts your metabolic rate, which is extremely important, goes up by 15 to 30%. It's a sustained energy release, so that, whatever work that you're doing, even if you're, traveling, taking 1 hour in a place like Bangalore to go to your work, and whatever energy is being sapped out, it takes care that it's a sustained energy release so that you can go much longer for a longer period of time. And it has a higher thermic effect, which we know what is the thermic effect of food, which basically means the amount of calories that are being burnt to digest your food. So if you are burning more calories to break down the protein, that means your metabolic rate is higher. And if you're wanting to lose weight, if your body is burning more calories doing this, trying to digest the same amount of food, that means you'll be losing your output of calories will be much more than the input, and hence it will help you in your weight loss. Now, why first thing in the morning? Why? Because it helps build your muscle mass. There's been a study which says that people who take higher protein intake in breakfast have high muscle volume, they have a higher grip strength. But those who take higher protein in dinner, see, if you are having protein in dinner and after that you're not going to be doing too much of an activity, we already know that the body is not really going to store protein. So having that protein, a high protein diet in dinner, is more like you're doing it for your taste buds and not really for your body, because that in itself is going to get eliminated the next day. So make sure your morning nutrition your breakfast has at least 50% protein. Even better, have a fruit half an hour before your breakfast, like we always recommend. It also helps in better weight management. Why? Because we tend to eat a snack, we tend to binge in between meals only when our cravings are higher. Our cravings are higher when uh, the absorption of nutrients from the meal that we've had earlier in the day is not sufficient, is not enough that the body needs. If you had your enough of protein, complex carbs, and fibers in breakfast, the satiety is much higher and you will not feel the need to eat anything for the next 4 to 5 hours up until you reach your lunchtime. And if you eat enough nutrients, macro and micro, in your lunch, you will not feel the need to snack before your dinner time, which should be ideally around 6:30, 6:30, 7 o'clock. So yes, it gives you a lot of satiety, and it's a diet induced thermogenesis. So more calories are being burned because of the diet, the form of diet that you're having. If you are eating a diet which takes much less calories to break down that food, it will not help you in weight gain. But if you are, why do we say eat more fiber, eat more protein? Because more amount of time is required, more calories are required to break it down, and hence, because it takes a while to break that down, you will feel more satisfied and full till your next meal. You will not binge, you will not eat in between, and it will burn more calories, and hence it will help you in weight loss and effective weight management. Now, soy protein gives you a lot of satiety. Like I said, it gives you a lot of appetite regulation for obvious reasons we've just shared. Thermogenesis and metabolism. Basically, when we talk about metabolism, it's the chemical reaction in your body cell. When your food gets converted into energy, preservation of your lean body mass, enhanced fat oxidation, glycemic control. People who are pre-diabetic or who are even, who already are having diabetes as a lifestyle disease, it really, really helps in that. And of course, it helps in your cholesterol regulation as well. Better mental health. What contributes to a better mental health? Firstly and foremostly, that you are energetic all the time. You are, at your toes. You don't feel the lethargy. You don't feel the tiredness. You don't feel any fatigue to do anything. You're always up and above and on the go because you have your protein tank full. Your energy levels are much higher. Because your energy levels are much higher and you're always on the go, ready to make the move, it will help you balance your glucose levels and your insulin levels. It will delay your gastric emptying. So more time taken to digest the food, more calories being burned. Hence, it will take more time to empty your stomach, and that will basically help in your mental health. It'll improve your performance. It'll improve your mood. I don't know about you, but while I was on the other side of weighing scale, and every now and then, I used to get up. One day I will be like, okay, from tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, I'm getting back into the routine. I'm going for my morning walk. And I would certainly go. I would go for 2, 3 days, and those 2, 3 days, maybe a week, maybe a month, I would keep cursing myself that, it is so good when I step out in the morning. I feel so nice even when I come back. The whole day, I feel like, I can take on to the world. I can do anything because, I'm so pumped up with energy. That happens because your mood levels are elevated. You are so full of energy when you do that. But what happens is, when we stop doing that, when we stop exercising, we stop any kind of physical activity, we get into that lethargy zone. So it helps elevate your mood big time. Your alertness improves, your productivity improves, because you're probably starting a day early. Farouk always says that, wake up on time, get your breakfast done on time, because then you are a winner. You're more in control for the day and the day's activity, and you're better prepared. So it really helps. Protein should be consumed across the day, especially breakfast. I mean, even if we say this 100 more times, it may not be sufficient. You need at least 50% of your protein requirement to be fulfilled at your breakfast time. Common practices: protein consumption is lowest in breakfast, highest in dinner. Absolutely wrong. A clinical study says that the effect of protein rich versus protein poor breakfast studied increased muscle mass in people who consume a protein rich breakfast. We need muscles, whether we want to be slim, whether we want to be overweight. I mean, nobody wants to be overweight, but it's one thing to say that you're thin and you're slim. It's another thing to say that you have muscles or not. Muscles are extremely important. They give the cushion to your skeletal structure. They're extremely important to give a posture and 100 other things. So whether or not you want to get into a gym and pump up some muscles, those are different. You may not want that kind of a body, but muscles are extremely important, and protein is one of the most essential. I think it's the most essential thing to have a healthy muscle structure in your body. So protein nutrition, what really the strategy depends upon the timing of the protein, the quality of the protein, how are you distributing it across the day, and your total protein, daily protein intake. Try and calculate, there are a lot of apps these days that can help you calculate how much of protein there is in the food that you consume. I mean, you can just put any damn thing on Google and tell you, when you put the quantities also, that how much protein it has. And I'm almost 100% sure that most of us may not be even having, may not, other than the mentors and the health buddies who understand this, I don't think we are having even 70% of our protein requirement on a daily, because we feel that, what we are having is sufficient. It isn't sufficient. So take the help of your health buddy to understand how you can probably for a week, 10 days, try and monitor how much protein you require and how much protein are you getting from your daily diet. Because once you do it for a week, 10 days, trust me, it becomes a habit. You can just probably look at the thing and you will come to know, because our daily food habits are more or less the same, barring an exception when you're stepping out for a dinner or a meal or a lunch with your friends. But otherwise, you know what you're having on a daily basis. And once you do this activity for a week, 10 days, you will be much more in control. You will feel more empowered that I understand what is going inside my body and how is it helping me. So, sources of protein, we have plant-based protein, we have animal-based protein. Yes, animal-based protein is relatively much higher in its concentration of protein, but we still focus more on plant-based because that is very, very gut friendly. Digesting that kind of a protein comes very naturally to our body. It puts a lot less pressure on our body to digest that kind of a protein. Yes, you can have plant-based, animal-based protein in moderation. These are some of the examples. Uh, you have in plant-based, you have chickpeas, oats, you have tofu, you can have paneer, you can have some form of cheese. Almonds are a very, but all of these, you can have it in moderation. You can't really go overboard. In non-veg, you have fish, you have eggs. Seafood is the best form of protein. Lean protein is your chicken breast, which is highest with less, any kind of, less fat. So you can go for yogurts, you can go for milk if it suits you, but we don't recommend too much of milk. We don't really need that much of milk after a certain age. So you can choose from these options. There are 100 other options. Speak to your health buddy. They can give you much more options as far as protein sources are concerned. Farooq has often spoken about these blue zones across the world. These are zones where people have a much higher number of, living age than the average. There are at the moment there are about 5 blue zones in the world. In US, it's Loma Linda. In Costa Rica, it's Nicoya. In Italy, it's Sardinia. In Greece, it's Ikaria. It's in Japan, it's Okinawa. People here follow an extremely simple, extremely close to nature routine and diet intake and lifestyle to ensure that they live 100 years and beyond. I don't know how much of it is possible in India, but whatever is possible, let's make sure we're doing almost 100% of that. Now, this is what their typical day, week, and month looks like. 90 to 95 to 100% of their daily food requirement comes from plant. They go for whole grains. They go for single ingredient, raw, semi-cooked, fermented, not highly processed. They don't do too much of stir frying and cooking and frying. As much as raw that they can consume or parboil they can consume, they do that. They really focus a lot on soy and beans, which is again the richest source of protein. Drink about 7 to 8 glasses of water. They really restrict their caffeine intake. They do a binge on a handful of nuts. They, yes, have plant-based protein, but that is not more than three times a week. They eliminate eggs not more than 3 times a week. Sugar is just a splash, because I think the one thing that I have realized over the last 2, 3 years is one thing which is pure, absolutely shining bright, pure white poison. That's sugar. The more you can eliminate it from your daily diet, you will see better skin, you will see better gut health, you will see better moods, you will see better energy levels. White sugar is something that you should just get rid of from your households. Retreat from meat, they eat about 2 or less than about 5 times a month. they don't resort to animal-based protein, which I think is a very healthy way to go forward. Sorry. Yeah. Now, soy protein, yes, it helps in your muscle synthesis, which is your anabolic process. It helps build your muscles. It helps repair and heal your muscles. What happens is that when you work out and you have enough protein, you go to the gym for the first 3 days, you're having your protein tank is full. You will have muscle soreness. That's the time your muscles, and you will have cramping and all. That's the time your muscle repair is happening, but your muscle is also building. That's how it grows. That's the anabolic muscle synthesis. Beyond anabolic, how it affects is it affects your heart health, it affects your bone health, it affects your metabolic health, it improves your weight management. Yes. What it does for your heart health, it reduces your overall cholesterol, it lowers your LDL, VLDL, and your triglycerides. As far as your metabolic health is concerned, it gives you more satiety, more fullness. It ensures more energy is being expended from expenditure is happening in your body, more fat is being burned. There is a complete hormonal balance in your body. As far as your bone health is concerned, it improves and increases your bone mineral density. Weight management it increases your satiety, it lowers your blood sugar level, it brings down your blood lipid numbers, it increases your fat burning, more calories being burned, and it gives you a lean body mass. So yes, protein is the way to go. Now, certain myths and facts about soy protein. Soy protein affects reproductive organs. No, it does not affect your reproductive organs. It causes early puberty. No, it does not. In fact, there has been a study. I'm not too sure how much of facts are included in this, but we've seen it around us that most of the animal-based food products that we have these days, there are a lot of malpractices that happen. A lot of hormonal injections are given to increase their weight, and a lot of growth hormone injections are given to make sure that the supply and demand the supply is met with the demand. As a result, probably a chick which is going to take a couple of months to grow into a full bird, it is done overnight, it is done in a week's time, and that is what is probably causing early puberty in children. So choose wisely. Soy is bad for your thyroid. No, it is not bad. Soy allergies are common. Link any food, like any food, soy can cause allergic reaction in sensitive individuals, but it's not a generalized study. It does not apply to all. Like a lot of people are allergic to nuts, a lot of people are allergic to certain seafood. So similarly, some individuals can be allergic to soy. It's not a generalized study or a research. Now, we strongly recommend Neutralite all plant protein powder. Why? Because yes, it is absolutely plant based. It's in one scoop you get about 8 grams of protein. It has a PDCA score of 1, which means whatever protein you are consuming, 100% of it gets absorbed. Now comes the interesting part. To have your 60 grams of protein, considering that the average weight is about 60 kgs in a man or a woman, you need to have about 11 eggs daily, about 50 bananas, 25 potatoes, 8 glasses of milk, and 8 cups of yogurt. Or you can have the same 60 grams from the all plant protein. Now tell me which is easier to have. Even if you want, you cannot have consumed that much of food on a daily basis. But what you can consume is 1 scoop of protein, maybe 2 scoops in the morning, 2 scoops in the evening, and the rest of it can come from your food items. So choose wisely again. Sorry. Now, what are the benefits of plant protein? Plant protein is certainly very high in fiber, extremely high in fiber. It is packed with antioxidants and nutrients. It has no cholesterol. It's low in saturated fat. Also, while I'm talking about this all plant protein powder is zero sugar. It is zero carb. No fats. Rather, it helps you in losing fat when you want to. This has been one of the most essential aspects or part of my weight loss journey, because this has really helped me keep up my energy levels, keep up the tightness of my skin, make sure that the elasticity of my skin is fine, my hair, nail skin are fine while I'm trying to lose weight. So it has helped me bridge that nutritional gap. A lot of other protein powders and protein supplements that are available around in the market, please go through their nutritional fact chart, because most of them almost have almost, if not more, have 50% of sugar and carbs in them. We are talking about 80% protein in what you're having. They're talking about 50% sugar and carb, and we're talking about zero carbs, zero sugar. So, understand what goes inside your body, what's coming in your kitchen. So it is this plant-based protein has no animal hormones. It is sustainable. It is environmental friendly. So better choice, certainly. Um, we need to build a strong foundation, because a strong foundation can ensure that the building is rock solid. It can take care of itself in years to come. And that's what the whole objective is, what we have to share with you. Like always, we would like to, this session almost comes to an end. We'd like to end with shine, which is start every day with gratitude and optimism. This has been my success mantra all this while. Gratitude is my success mantra. I don't know how many times do I say thanks to the universe, thanks or whosoever you believe in, Almighty, for whatever that I have in my life. Have your daily nutrition. Don't compromise on your nutrition. If you're not eating what you're supposed to eat, you'll have to eat tomorrow what you don't want to eat. So choose wisely. Your intentions, visualize, set clear intentions, visualize where you want to be tomorrow, believe that you can be there tomorrow, be a part of the community, do whatever is being asked, because whatever is being asked, it is going to empower you. It is going to help you understand what is right for you, your body and your health, and you will feel good about it. You will feel more knowledgeable, and you will probably be able to help 10 others around you. Learn something new every day. Trust me when I say this, even if I'm presenting the same slide to you for the nth time, each time I learn something new, and I'm sure we all do. So learn, it's not just about health, it could be from anything around you. We encounter so many people on our day-to-day basis. You can learn something new from a book, you can learn something new from something that you've read, somebody that you have met. Choose wisely again. And yes, exercise daily. If you keep moving, keep walking, keep exercising, you will continue doing that for a much longer period. You will have a longer life, you will have a healthier life. And I think today, more than money, more than time. Why I say more than time? Would you rather have a 50 years of life full of sickness, or would you rather have a 10 years life of absolutely fantastic health? So more than money and more than time, I think the number one thing and the priceless thing is that of a great health. And it took me a lot of years to learn this, but I'm glad that I still, learned it well in time, while I'm still breathing. So I think I have a lot many years ahead of me to spread the good word, and spread Farooq's vision of Har Ghar Healthy, Har Ghar Medicine Free. Because Farooq and Anahita and everybody, always we like to share our personal success story, not because we want to flaunt it. Yes, we want to flaunt it, but also because it gives you a lot of belief to understand something from somebody who's done that themselves. Farooq, till date, at the age of 50 plus today, still has a biological age of that of a 20-year-old young boy. Whom would I look up to for any kind of information, for any kind of guidance? Somebody who himself probably may be very well known in the market, but himself has a probably over say, 80 90 kgs and having tons of lifestyle diseases, or somebody who's absolutely fighting fit, represented India for 40 years, in Asian Games, in Olympics, won so many national awards, and he's still going so strong. So that's been my journey. That is where I was, and this is where I am today. 35 kgs lighter, 35 times more happier. And I hope that whatever it is that you are facing a challenge with in your health, God forbid you aren't, but if you are, trust me, you are blessed to be part of this platform. You've heard some of the most phenomenal success stories where people have been able to, quit their smoking, reverse their diabetes, whatever it is that you're facing. You can still reverse whatever you want to. Just be a part of the community. Please share your plates. We would love to help you understand your health, your body, your diet better, so that you can live a healthier life. And we can have many from, rather than this just 24, I would love to have 2,400 people on this group who would love to understand how can they make their life healthy and how can they help spread the word. Well, that's all from my side. Like Veda said, today we would not be having too many question and answers. We look forward to having Farooq with us on Monday. I hope this evening you were able to get something out of this meeting. Yes, Commander Vadera, would you like to share something? We can't hear you, Commander Vadera.
Hear me now?
Yeah, we can now. Yes, please.
Yeah. I just want to know
Sure.
what would you suggest a good non-veg breakfast and good veg breakfast? I'm saying, what are the essential
See,
elements?
of course, we can also take Farooq's input when he's with us on this platform, but a good non-veg breakfast, I think, would be ideal if you can have a lot of, if you can include eggs, that is like the best possible in breakfast, you know. Sabha, would you like to contribute to this? Uh,
In addition to eggs, what else to
uh,
make up all the proteins?
See, ideally, if you're just wanting to restrict it to non-veg, I think probably a fillet of tuna or something like that would be good. But I don't think too many people would want to have, a seafood in the morning. Non-veg, probably a breast of chicken would be ideal. That will be the next best thing that you can have. I personally, when I personally have a slow cooked soup, chicken broth, basically, which is a slow cooked bone broth that I cook for about 4 to 5 hours, which completely takes all the nutrients off the chicken. And then I have it, that's a concentrated form. But in breakfast, eggs are ideal. You can probably pair it up with other vegetarian protein sources. But as far as non-veg is concerned, in India, essentially, I mean, a lot of people can recommend bacon, but then that's a very, very high fat non-veg, even though it would be good in protein sources, but that's a very high fat. So eggs are the safest bet to kickstart.
What about veg breakfast?
Veg, you have a lot of options. You can go for moong sprouts. I think sprouts are the best and the richest because they are very high in fiber content and protein. You can have moong dal chila. You can have, steamed sprouts, and you can add a lot of veggies into it. You can do that. You can have lobia. You can have white chana in any form. They are all very high in protein. Ideal is your moong dal chila. That's the best that you can have with a lot of vegetables.
How about South Indian food, dosa, idli, and all?
See, it's good because it has it's rich in fiber, it's rich in complex carbs. Protein you will only get probably from sambar, which is also, how much sambar will you have? Again, not sufficient enough to take care of your 50% requirement. Because, when you're taking dosa, yes, it's good, it's mixed, it's complex carbs, you're having fiber in the veggies and all. But just if you're talking about protein, we'll probably need to add more sources to it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? Yeah, most welcome. So Sabha, I see your raised hand. Would you like to contribute?
Yeah, I will.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you before I go to that. Your slide said the maximum protein was in the handful of nuts, which said 100 grams, and that was showing 29 or 28 grams
Correct.
of
Correct.
protein. That is, I think, a good daily habit to have. And I was
Absolutely.
told to soak it and have that. So that raises your protein content.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
And that is
Nuts are
and
good.
that is and that is part of that blue zone thing also, if you saw that in the
Yes,
slide.
yes, yes,
But
yes. Captain Commander
these
Vadera,
other
you have your
yeah,
answer.
these other advices are there is if you look at the blue zone thing, there's
Ji.
little contradiction. Anyway,
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you on this third last slide that was there.
Ji.
If you can just go back to that,
Sure,
please.
hold on. 1 second. This one? Can you see this? Sabha, can you see this?
Yeah, what is there in the notes below, Deepika? This, for example, what is it?
Soy protein is a complete protein with all essential amino acid, reduces the risk of T2D, CVD, body composition, and BMI.
What is this T2D?
We'll have to check with Farooq once, Sabha, because these are little.
Okay, CVD is coronary vascular disease.
Yeah.
T2D.
So for the others, the technical thing, we'll have to probably rope in Farooq for that a bit.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Bassett, you wanted to share something?
Yeah, Deepika, that was a fantastic presentation.
Thank
As
you.
usual, super job.
Thanks a lot.
Just wanted to add my two bit,
Ji.
being a researcher
Absolutely, we'd love to hear it.
getting into a little bit of detail here.
Sure.
Not really a detail, just a tidbit for
Sure,
those
sure.
who are new here, and maybe it might help the old ones too. So we were discussing why Neutralite protein powder.
Ji.
Now, of course, you can talk about so many health benefits. We talk about PDCAS and we talk about balanced amino acid ratio, all of those things which are there. But one aspect where we stand out head and shoulders, and this I can say with 120% certainty, is that on the Indian market, there is no other protein which in its manufacturing process goes through something which is called as being water washed. Okay.
Right.
Everything else is alcohol washed.
Right.
Now, what that means is the moment you use alcohol, two things are happening. One is the process gets down to almost 10%. So if water wash takes you 100 minutes, this is going to take you 10 minutes.
Correct.
And in doing so, you are stripping off all the nutrients that would be part of the phytonutrient complex of that particular protein.
Absolutely.
And here, Neutralite goes through the tedious process of ensuring that it is water washed, hence protecting, the various isoflavones and the genistines and, all of those things, which are extremely, extremely critical. And thus, when people say that why Neutralite protein powder, he says, because there is nothing like the Neutralite protein powder, at least on the Indian market.
Absolutely.
So when making a choice, you got to make a choice between, घर में पीओपी लगाओगे अपने पिलर पे या आरसीसी लगाना है. पीओपी लगाओगे तो पहला भूकंप आ गया तो आपको पता चल जाएगा कि असलियत क्या थी उसकी. ठीक है ना? So but this was just the two bit that I want to add.
Thank you.
You guys
That's
have done a
priceless.
fantastic job. Farooq hasn't been here, but I mean, you guys were just awesome.
Farooq is omnipresent. I think he's
I know.
everywhere.
Oh yeah. Farooq God.
Absolutely. Yes,
God
absolutely. Absolutely. So with
Almighty
that,
Farooq.
yes, absolutely. With that, we come to the
Veda,
end of
thanks a
this
lot,
session.
Veda, and Deepika, thanks a lot.
Most
Bye-bye. Good
welcome.
night.
Thanks a lot for your 2-bit Bassett. Absolutely priceless. Thanks, everyone. We will see you on Monday. Till then, make sure your protein tank is full. And good night. Take care. Good night, everybody.